Welcome back. Here is a stock in the spotlight this morning, Barrick Gold. You can see how it has performed versus the metal itself over the past 52 weeks, both up substantially. Higher gold prices gave a boost to Barrick's quarterly earnings. Profit at the company soared by 69% at the company in 2024. Let's speak with the company's Chief Executive Officer, who joins us from downtown Toronto this morning. The CEO of Barrick Gold is Mark Bristow. Mark, thanks a lot for joining us.
Hello, Paul.
Lots of big increases in the fourth quarter numbers and the annual numbers in things like net earnings, adjusted net earnings, and adjusted EBITDA, the key measures of profitability. One thing, of course, that helped was the price of gold. Barrick's realized price of gold was up substantially in the year as well. That's something you can't control. What did your team, what kind of things did you and your team control in the right way in 2024 to drive these numbers higher?
So, Paul, as you and I discussed last time we spoke, I clearly pointed to quarter four and the importance for the team to really focus on getting to that magical within guidance number, and the teams in Nevada and Africa, Middle East really pulled out the stop, and we got there, and LATAM, which is still ramping up the PV project. They also did well, and particularly on the cost side. And as you've just pointed out, the results are particularly pleasing. Financially, most importantly, we were able to benefit from the higher gold prices and a strong balance sheet. We bought, the share price was softer than we thought it should be, and so we bought a lot of shares back. And today we are announcing, those big projects that we've been talking about for a couple of years now, the Reko Diq go ahead, and of course the Lumwana expansion, the move from preliminary assessments in 4 Mile in Nevada to a full pre-feasibility study, and the PV project is still ongoing, and that's probably the most valuable gold mine in the world today, and it's really on its way to get to that long life plus 800,000 ounce production profile. So all in all, a solid set of assets, a strong balance sheet despite the fact that we continue to buy back shares, and an ability to fund the multi-billion-dollar expansions that we're talking about that's going to add more than 30% on a gold equivalent basis to our production profile and drive the cash flow.
Talk to us a bit about the work that you and your team and people on the ground have to do to get a project proposal to the finish line, to the point where it becomes green lighted by not only regulators but the board of directors at Barrick itself.
So, Paul, Lumwana is slightly different because it's an expansion of a current operation.
Correct.
And so, but again, Barrick is very committed, no matter where the project is, to follow world standards when it comes to permitting. We are permitted and so ready to go, and we look to make a more than a 15% return against our assumed long-term metal prices, and Lumwana more than meets that. And in Reko Diq, that's a very big project. And as you know, it's a 50-50 partnership between Barrick with 50% and the Balochistan with 25%. That's the province of Balochistan, and the Pakistan federal government with another 25%. So 50-50 partnership. And again, with Reko Diq, we're doing limited recourse funding, with a very large spread of Western Hemisphere institutions, and we are in that process. And so as equity holders, we have commitments on equity side, and we're able to continue that. The permission we got from our board yesterday was a conditional permission to continue until such time as we are able to finalize the funding part of it, and with that gearing, the returns on Reko Diq are outstanding. I mean, Reko Diq is the most valuable undeveloped gold copper deposit in the world today, and certainly when you look at that we have the funds to be able to bring both those projects to account and still grow our other tier one gold assets. It's exciting time, and on top of that, we're going to do that without issuing shares. And in fact, we're buying back shares, so reducing the number of shares outstanding, and so creating real value for our investors.
Okay, the company unfortunately has a big problem in Mali, where I'm seeing talks have been suspended now over a dispute. The company has earlier seized 3 tons of gold, and I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that 4 Barrick employees are still detained. They've been detained since November. Is there anything you can tell us about that situation?
Yeah, so the point about talks are suspended is news to me. So we are continually engaging with the authorities to find a solution. You are right that unfortunately we have 4 senior executives, Malian citizens, detained, which is unfair, and that really does stress me out. But at the same time, we are engaged and we are fully committed to finding a solution. And Paul, it's worth noting, you know, when I started in Barrick in 2019, we had similar challenges in Tanzania and Pakistan and Papua New Guinea, and today all those are resolved. And in fact, Tanzania is a model partnership between foreign investors and host country in Africa, and we've been a long-standing partner with Mali and a significant contributor to the Treasury. And so if you look at the past couple of years, 2023, we paid $400 million to the Treasury, 24, $460 million to the Treasury. And this year, we would have paid a whole lot more because, as you point out, the gold price is up. So a significant contributor. We have no problem that if we can sit down and have a proper conversation and deal with the accusations that have been levied and put it on the table, we'll find a solution. And so in the fullness of time, I've got no doubt we'll find a solution.
Mark, thank you very much for joining us today. That's Mark Bristow. He's president and CEO of Barrick Gold. Coming up, my next guest